Good evening from Long Lane in Ringwood as Bournemouth are hoping to make history. They just need 2 wins and they will seal the title and seal promotion to the 3rd tier of women's football. But they're going to have to get 3 points today against second place Moneyfields. They did face them at the weekend in the Hampshire Senior Cup. 3-0 victors on the night. I'm delighted to be joined as well by Dave Staddon, Women's Development Manager at AFC Bournemouth. Good crowd, no fog this time.
Thank goodness. I can see you sat next to me, which is an improvement on last week.
Considering that we weren't even able to see the goal last time as the teams just make their way out onto the pitch. There's a decent crowd as well, and there's surely going to be thousands as well at the Vitality. Hopefully they can get the job done tonight and make history on Sunday.
Absolutely, and good evening everyone. I think it's a game for the neutrals to come out and really enjoy. A game for both sets of supporters to also come out and enjoy, you know, being close to each other and close in the league table as well. So it's got all the ingredients for a really important evening in the league, and one that I'm sure Moneyfields will want to bounce back from their Sunday's defeat.
Well, we are a few minutes away from kickoff, so let me just take you through the team, starting with the Cherries. So it's Erin Foley in goal, Charlotte Harris, Abby Jones captains the side, Katie James and Amber Trewick. Phoebe Williams, Molly Barron-Clark, Chloe Gilroy, and Gemma McGuinness, Erin Bloomfield and Jenna Markham make up the starting 11. 2 changes from the side that sealed pathway to the Hampshire Senior Cup final on Sunday with a 3-0 win against today's opponents, Moneyfield. For the visitors, it's 5 changes. Libby Stratton in goal, Kira Heslem, Sophie Phelps, Caitlin Watt, Olivia Venditto, Gemma Simmons, Megan Fox, Brooke Garcia, Charlie Wilson-Wilton, Shannon Albury and Lucy Cooper make up the starting 11. On the bench for Cherries this evening, Kelsey Bowers, Ali Hall, Eloise Hall, Ellie Stripple and Helen Blizzard. I think, you know, obviously it's easy to say, Dave, that when you've won every single league game this season that it's going to be a victory tonight, but it's not the case.
Absolutely not. I think the strength of this group and the strength of the team this year have been that they've tackled every game as it comes, and they'll do exactly the same tonight. We know that Moneyfields are very tough opposition with a lot of former senior Cherries in there as well. So it's going to be a really competitive game, I'm sure.
Well, it's certainly a game where there's goals aplenty, just the 1-0 draw in their 7 meetings so far. And I don't know how easy... they won 3-0 at the weekend in the Cup, but how easy is it to actually face the same opposition just a few days later? Because they will have learnt from that game, Moneyfields. They would have seen places where they were perhaps a bit weak. Their manager did say that they were like rabbits in the headlights, so it wasn't a performance that he was expecting. But they can bring that into this game. They'll be wanting to basically try and get one up on the Cherries tonight.
Absolutely, they'll want to hold sort of our title push, if you like. And I think, going to your point about playing teams so close together, it does bring a certain momentum. The teams will know each other really well anyway. But I think, as you say, the comments from the first team manager at Moneyfields at the weekend will certainly hope to have given a push to his team, and I know for a fact that the Cherries today won't rest on their laurels, and they'll be extremely well prepared and will have learned from things to improve and things they want to continue to do well from Sunday.
So those were the words of Carl Watson. Said his side were like rabbits in headlights as the 2 sides just dispersed from their huddles, and we're about to get underway at the Ringwood Community Hub. Can Cherries get the victory tonight against second in the league to make it all to play for on Sunday at the Vitality? And Dave, that's going to be quite the occasion if they get the 3 points tonight.
Absolutely, and that's sort of the prize for tonight, really. Set up that game on Sunday to go and win at the Vitality Stadium as the Cherries look to make a really positive start.
Good early pressing from Bournemouth, goes all the way back to Libby Stratton in the Moneyfields goal. But bright start there.
Absolutely, wanting to put the ball straight in Moneyfields territory and start the game on the front foot.
Strong challenges. Moneyfields just try and work it up the left-hand side. This game rarely decided by more than a goal margin. So Bournemouth will want to make sure that they don't give themselves a mountain to climb and concede an early goal, but they do have a throw, which they take it long down the right channel. That's going to be ushered back, you'd assume, but early pressure from Bournemouth, and they try and nick it in a dangerous area, but that'll go harmlessly out of play for a goal kick. 0-0. Live on AFCB TV, on X, YouTube, Facebook, and of course the club website. Cherries hoping to make Sunday a grand occasion and seal promotion to the third tier of women's football.
I think it's going to be important for Bournemouth to apply early pressure. What they don't want Enable to do is Moneyfields to settle. They want to sort of carry on where they left off on Sunday as Moneyfields win a free kick in the centre of the park there. It's going to be important to stamp your authority early in the game and not allow Moneyfields to grow any confidence, having lost on the weekend.
Well, one player they certainly don't want to give any space is the number 9, who was just hauled to the floor, Shannon Albury, top scorer in the division. Certainly one to keep an eye on. 16 league goals as Moneyfields just sending a few players forward. This is a chance to give Bournemouth something to think about, and it is knocked on into the penalty area. It's not going to drop nicely for a Moneyfield shirt. Cherries try and get it out on the right-hand side. Neat turn, but Moneyfield's applying the pressure. It's a fast start. There's not a lot of control in the game as of yet, but both sides really going for it.
Absolutely. I think the pitch plays into that a little bit as well. It's not had rain for a little while, have we? So it's quite a hard pitch for those that are watching, and that makes things a little bit difficult to sometimes pick up the bounce and pick up how the ball's going to react in the early stages. So both sides, as you say, trying to get a grip on the game, really.
That throw flicked on, and Bournemouth just trying to keep the pressure on. Down the right-hand side, this is a good run towards the byline. Can they get a ball into the box? It's the first corner of the evening. It goes Bournemouth's way.
Really important at the first set piece of the day that the delivery's really on point. Put Moneyfields under pressure in the opening couple of minutes with a set piece, and it looks like there's 2 over it, so whether there's going to be something a little inventive.
Well, it has been left for the left-footed in-swinger towards the front post. Will be flicked on, and it is into the back of the net. It's a terrific start for Bournemouth. First corner of the evening, and it's been knocked into the back of the net, and Bournemouth have the perfect beginning. 3 minutes gone, they lead 1-0.
Be interesting to see when the replay comes out. I'm not sure she gets the connection that the taker wants on the set piece, but sometimes that can throw defences as well. I think it's coming a little bit lower than she would have liked, and looks like it's might have gone straight in there, perhaps. A dream start.
Perfect start for Bournemouth. We'll get confirmation on the goal as it's collected in the middle of the park. Phoebe Williams can't bring it down, and Cherries just try and get it out of defence. They just need to be calm here. Player goes down, but it play on. Harris racing down the right-hand side, ball into the box, low ball. That's that clear. There's still a player on the ground. We are going to have a stoppage now, as Bournemouth were just trying to break forward and have another go.
We talked about it slightly at the start and making sure that Bournemouth started very strong to make sure that Moneyfields didn't grow any confidence in the game and continue to haunt some of the memories from Sunday, and that start's absolutely done that. It's really going to put them on the back foot, and now we'll see if there are rabbits in the headlights again tonight or if there's going to be a real response.
Well, it's goal number 79 in the league so far this season. Just the 2 goals conceded. That's quite the goal difference to have, and the best possible start as the drop ball is launched forward, flicked on. Moneyfields just trying to deal with it over on that far side. It goes out of play. Throw in Cherries. The second goal so soon would do wonders, but Moneyfields deal with it on that occasion. Bournemouth just trying to keep the pressure on.
Keeper just doing the right thing here, just taking a little bit of time, taking a little bit of sting out of the game. Moneyfield certainly under a fair amount of pressure at the moment, but the ball just returns to Bournemouth, but it is in their territory for Moneyfields in the attacking third, so it gives them a little bit of a chance to build a little bit of pressure themselves. So good little play from the goalkeeper there, just reading the game situation and moving the ball into the Bournemouth defensive area.
Well, we do have confirmation after having a look at some of the replays. It's Gilroy who's managed to score straight from the corner. It's gone all of the way in. Her second league goal of the season. What a day to get it, as Moneyfields looking to get themselves on the score sheet soon after going behind. Loose touch in the middle, a player goes down, waved away. Markham, of course, wearing that mask with the broken nose that she suffered a couple of weeks ago. Didn't do her any problems at the weekend especially. Ball over the top, Williams can't get on that. Cherries still piling the pressure with James, although she's had the ball nicked off her, and here come Moneyfields down the right hand side. Abby Jones thought she'd ushered the ball out for a Cherries throw, but not going her way this time. Venditto will take the throw.
The Moneyfields right hand side there with Olivia Venditto and Lucy Cooper, formerly of the Cherries this season. So it'll be a spicy encounter down that hand side. Some certainly no friendships tonight while the 90 minutes are going on.
Albury just trying to cause Harris a few problems down that left side for Moneyfields, but it's well ushered out of play. Bournemouth will try and build again, although Moneyfields tenacious, but that time not able to work a threat down the left-hand side. 7.5 minutes gone, live on AFCB TV. Cherries already a goal to the good, a goal straight from the corner flag, as Moneyfields' pressure only goes out for a goal kick.
Couple of occasions that ball in the box, and we mentioned about the bounce and how hard the pitch is, just causing a few uncomfortable moments for the Bournemouth backline. Nothing that they haven't been managed to deal with, but something that they're going to have to monitor going forward and make sure individually that they're reading the bounce and trying to get there before it bounces, so that they can make sure they remove any danger before it gets to it.
Starting to move the ball around quickly at Bournemouth, and that almost works its way through the heart of the defence. Then they're now starting to get in their groove there. The best sort of passage of play that they had, getting the ball down on the deck. Absolutely,
oozing confidence. I think the way that they're starting to move the ball around. We mentioned getting a little feel for the pitch. I think they've definitely done that. That passage of play was excellent. Started by Jenna Markham, who's such a powerful runner in behind. That really something that we want to utilise if it's on. And really causing problems already.
Erin, come deeper. Deeper.
Moneyfields clear long, and bit of pressure. It's going to go all the way back to Foley. There's an awkward bounce on the ball, deals with it well. Harris.
It's exactly the situation we're talking about with Amber Trowick there, making sure that you read the play early. Are you positioning yourself that the long ball might be coming? Can you get there before the bounce? If not, making sure that you're protecting yourself between the ball and the opposition, and Erin Foley there being an excellent start position to be able to help us clear our lines.
That ball almost bounces all the way through to Jenna Markham. Still going Markham. Bloomfield lines up the shot, finds the space out wide. Nice ball. Delivery is into a dangerous area, and it's bounced, and it's going to go. Oh, you thought it was going to hit the back of the net, and it's headed towards goal and still doesn't gone in. Cherries causing havoc in the Moneyfields box. And they win it back, Katie James. And eventually Moneyfields just hack it clear again, well dealt with at the back. by Trewick. Well gathered. Not quite sure how that hasn't gone in.
An absolute goalmouth scramble there, and I think the Cherries players, as we look at the replay here, will be wondering how it's not gone in as well. But there's that bounce coming in, making it awkward. Again, you have to say some good defending there by Vendito on the line for Moneyfields to make sure nothing came of it.
That's an awkward header backwards, and Bournemouth have just got to deal with that, and they do well. Yeah, it was Gemma McGuinness at the back post who wasn't able to direct a header goalwards, as Molly Barron-Clark is just on the deck waiting to see if any treatment is needed. But 11.5 minutes gone, Dave. I mean, apart from a few hairy moments with the awkward bounce of the ball going back towards Erin Foley, it's been a really good start for Bournemouth.
A really good game as well. I think we've seen both sides wanting to move the ball forward quickly at times. Bournemouth have certainly shown a little bit more control in moving the ball through the thirds when the opportunities are presented, and I certainly don't think we'll end this game at 1-0. There's certainly more goals in this, as both sides push basically 3v3 in the forward areas.
Good defending there from Jones, and immediately picks up the ball, and now Moneyfields will come again. I have to say that with our current setup, we're sat right on the edge of the pitch, so whenever a clearance comes our way, it's sort of panic stations, get your heads down, and almost the cameraman almost hit with that clearance, as Vendito will take the throw. That's short. McGuinness trying to win the ball back with a physical challenge, but it goes Moneyfields' way. Simmons.
You can see the setup here that Moneyfields are quite happy to push 3 forward players up against the 3 defenders at times, and it's going to be really interesting that should the ball turn over in a midfield area, that both sides are almost 3 for 3 at either end of the pitch, which makes a very attacking display, hopefully.
Yeah, it's been a frenetic start to the game as Brooke Garcia cries of handball. And again, Moneyfields getting the ball in dangerous areas and forcing Bournemouth to have to just be calm, and it's well read there at the back and left for Foley, who hasn't conceded since September in the league.
Quite remarkable achievement to not concede since September, isn't it?
I know, I mean, just the 2 league goals conceded this season, but of course Moneyfield's one of the teams that have found the back of the net against Bournemouth, and you can see why they are second in the division. They are dangerous when they go forward. You're not entirely sure where the bounce of the ball is going to go, and their play is very aggressive with the press.
Absolutely, and as we nearly see a moment there, the defender judges the bounce particularly well. I think Moneyfield's management team would just like to see them have a little bit more control in their build-up when they go forward. Can they find the feet of their centre forward? Can they find the feet of the wingers, rather than making everything a little bit of a 50-50 battle with a longer pass? It's
been really nicely brought down, and fortunately for Bournemouth, the touch a little bit loose as Wilson-Wilton.
Exactly that sort of situation I just mentioned there. If they can find and get on the turn with Lucy Cooper and Shannon Aubrey either side of the centre forward, then you feel like they might have a cleaner opportunity to access space behind the Bournemouth back line. Luckily for Bournemouth, that didn't come off there with some excellent tight marking, and the bounce of the ball proving a little bit difficult to control.
Yeah, well, Gemma McGuinness was just cutting in from the left-hand side there. The touch was a little bit heavy, otherwise she was ready to pull the trigger from about 25 yards. Jones lets the ball roll behind, and Trewick just needs to be careful, and Jones doing really well there just to usher Wilson-Wilton away. It's a good battle between those two so far as Foley knocks it forward.
And real man-for-man pressure there from Moneyfield. You can see that it's those sorts of situations that the Bournemouth don't want to turn the ball over, particularly when there's that 3v3 we mentioned at the top of the pitch. It's going to be wanting to be secure in playing out at the right times. And I think that there, perhaps in hindsight, with the tight marker up against Chloe Gilroy, probably not the right opportunity. You might look to play that a little bit longer and find Jenna Markham in behind.
Well, Moneyfields have earned themselves their first corner of the evening. The only goal of the game came from a set piece. That was Bournemouth from Chloe Gilroy after just 3 minutes, and there's a bit of a pack at the back post as in comes the delivery. It's into a dangerous area. It's headed towards goal, saved on the line and cleared. Moneyfield so close to getting themselves on the score sheet, and now it's going to be a foot race. Markham in that mask, it's forced a dangerous bounce towards the goalkeeper. They're going to have to deal with it. Markham's still going. Moneyfields get it out of danger, and now it's their turn to break forward. Just about kept in play. Jones. Well, Steve Cuss, the Cherries boss, just shouting, Jones superb, and it was, because suddenly a dangerous opportunity was breaking down the right, and it's terrific work to just usher the ball out of play, and it's a really good goal-saving deflection from that corner. Moneyfield's so close to getting an equaliser, and after conceding after just 3 minutes, you'd think that, you know, teams could crumble, but that's not happened today.
No, absolutely, and I know their manager was critical of the performance of the weekend, but he's got to be absolutely delighted with the way that they've responded to that early goal, as you mentioned, putting Bournemouth under pressure and making the game still very, very competitive.
Well, as it stands, Cherries get the win today, and then all eyes on the Vitality against Bristol Rovers. They can then seal the title. Promotion history can be made, so make sure you get yourself down to the Vitality for what is going to be hopefully a fantastic day for Bournemouth women, as they're hoping to double their lead and try and work it down the right hand side. Nothing doing that time.
It's a really up and at them game here. Both sides not really having a passage of play yet. It's very much we move it forward, you move it forward, defend, and sometimes emergency defending, as we see Moneyfields try and play out from the back here that doesn't lead to anything. So you can see both sides making it very difficult for any team to get in their rhythm with their high pressing, and how hard the pitch is as well. We've got to acknowledge that that's certainly having an impact on how easy it is to make your passes and control the ball.
Brought down on the chest, and Garcia up into the night sky. Baron Clark, Williams picks up the ball, and Bournemouth dangerous once more. That's headed up into the air, but not out of dangerous territory. And the ball flicked forward. Is there a possible handball? No. Goes the other way, and Cherries can't quite believe it. Remains 1-0 with 18.5 minutes gone.
I think a clear handball. They're obviously not intentional. Striker in that position wants it to drop perfectly for him to get the shot, just not to be. But a really encouraging start from both sides, even though the scoreline obviously favours the Cherries at the moment. We're certainly, I hope, going to see more goals, and we've seen already that set pieces may be key to those, with one going in slightly unorthodox and the other one being cleared off the line from the away side.
Bit of head tennis as Markham in amongst the thick of the action on the right hand side, but Moneyfields trying to make yards up the pitch. Wilson-Wilton works it nicely out to the left. You're right, Dave. It's very much a case of you have the ball, we'll have the ball, you have the ball, we'll have the ball. It's going back and forth at quite a frenetic tempo so far. Neither side really having the time to get the ball down on the deck and play it around for 5 or 6 passes. It's very much get it forward as quickly as possible.
Absolutely, and I think in years gone by that clubs may have not been able to keep up this sort of tempo throughout the game, but with both sides training as regularly as they do now, with the access to the medical provision and the sports science that I know both sides have, in particular the support of the club here at Bournemouth, that I would strongly think that this would be able to continue throughout the whole game, certainly from a Cherries point of view, including the quality that they have on the bench also.
Yeah, on the Cherries bench we've got Kelsey Bowers, Ali Hall, Eloise Hall, Ellie Stripple and Helen Blizzard. Great names to bring on as legs start to tire. 1-0 Cherries lead. Just approaching the midway point of the first half here at Ringwood. Live on AFCB TV. Bournemouth making yards down the right. It's another opportunity to get the ball into the box. And it's another corner, their second. We're going to have deja vu. I'm sure Gilroy will be eyeing up a second goal of the half, hopefully.
Let's hope so, and if not, we've got such a threat in the box. You see Amber heading in there, the centre-back heading on top of the goalkeeper. You've got Erin Bloomfield in there as well. So some real great targets to hit.
It's been left for Gilroy again, and it's hit the side netting at the front post. Now, I wonder if that was intentional or maybe just didn't get the delivery quite right that time.
Obviously, the delivery not quite how she would like it. And I would argue that the first one's not quite how she likes it. And that's how she ends up with the goal. Sometimes, you know, what you don't expect can catch the opposition off guard, and it certainly seemed to have done that, ending up in from the very first one. But she won't mind that.
Yes, go compete! Go compete! Next one, Simon! Yeah, coming in, loose, Charlie, after it! Loose, look after it, winners!
Jones yet again winning an aerial duel. Here she is, the number 2, options in front. Cherries have it down the left-hand side in the corner of the pitch. Williams. Now's a chance for Moneyfields to come forward, and it's a crunching challenge by Trewick. You could see that from a mile off that the slide tackle was incoming, and she got pure connection.
Credit to Amber at the back. I think she started the game excellently. She's been challenged in different ways. That one there, reading space and deciding to come out from the central position of the back three and deal with that. She's dealt with the centre forward they've tried to find to feet a little bit more, Moneyfields, and she's also dealt with aerial bouncing balls as well. So that really helps when your centre half takes command of a game.
Just dealt with that one as well and was forced to do a little roll on the floor but bounced straight back up. Only missed one game last season. A mainstay this as well. And you can absolutely see why.
She'll be delighted with the way she started the game, but she'll know that there's going to be continued tests throughout the rest of the game that she's going to need to remain focused and vigilant for. The Cherries choosing not to play out from the back, learning is from the game that we saw earlier on from Moneyfields trying to play out where they got caught on a press and trying to make it a little bit more of a 50-50 game in a more neutral middle of the park area.
Wilson Wilton just breathing down the neck there of Amber Trewick, and the ball has actually been booted out of the ground, so we're going to need another one. 24 minutes gone, 1-0. This scoreline will do it for Cherries, and it will mean that on Sunday they can clinch promotion to the 3rd tier. So unlucky last season, the fact that Exeter pipped them to the post. Are they going to be doing it this time around?
As the ball goes out of play there, I think we'll just touch briefly at that game, one that Neil and I had the pleasure of commentating on last year down at Exeter. And I think you can, in anything, you're going to get knockbacks in sport, but I think this group have really galvanised themselves together, added by a couple of signings as the season's gone on, and to respond in the way they have with the results in the league and in cup competitions, with a cup final to look forward to as well next month. That, you know, full credit to the way that they've attacked this season after that disappointment.
Trewick deals with that cross as Bournemouth go long. Again, the ball bouncing awkwardly in the middle of the park, and now they've got space ahead of them. Markham pulls it back. Is there a chance to get a shot away? Moneyfields on that one that time. Every time they try and get forward, though, the visitors, Bournemouth are just breathing down their necks. And they have won themselves a throw. Garcia tries to get that one clear. Moneyfields now with a bit of space in front. And that's gone behind Jones, the first time she's really been beaten. Players in the middle. Cries of handball as Trowett just lets it go out of play for a corner. That was the first time that the bounce of the ball had just got the better of Abby Jones.
Absolutely, and it's something that we're going to have to be really, really watchful for, and you only get it wrong by a couple of centimetres and you can get punished for it. So just making sure we read if there's pressure on the ball or not, and the body shape of the Moneyfields players if they look to play forward and adjust accordingly, and just couldn't adjust by a couple of centimetres.
Albury with the delivery. That's knocked wide and danger over for Bournemouth, but they'll be concerned that a Moneyfields head was able to get on that at the front post.
Yeah, 2 corners in a row now that they've caused us problems. The first one being cleared off the line, and that one a free header that, if anything, she's almost not connected well enough and glanced it right across the goal. I'm sure the Moneyfields will be disappointed there's not runners coming in towards the back post that may have been able to get that. But 2 good opportunities, and we know how important set pieces are in particularly big games, and that's, although Cherries have scored from 1, that's 2 opportunities for Moneyfields now.
Williams wins her side a throw. Of course, it's Williams' birthday on Sunday. What a present that would be to get promotion on that day, as Bournemouth searching for a second goal after taking the lead in the 3rd minute. Moneyfields equal to that, and Garcia. Wilson-Wilton, who's been the spearhead of the attack, not able to hold the ball as she would have wanted that time, and it's another long clearance, and Foley's just got to deal with this, but it's fairly comfortable.
So important that sticks with Wilson there, and that they can build up back and throughs to try and set Lucy Cooper and set Shannon Albury through behind the back line. Just a couple of times they have found them, but it's broken down, and that'll be disappointing as Cherries launch an attack here with Markham almost running free of the defender.
That all came from an awkward clearance from Foley that actually Bournemouth just getting the rub of the green as that managed to work it all its way through, and they've got themselves a throw in a dangerous position. Sometimes when you are chasing the title, you need those bits of luck, as the Moneyfields defender just knocks it out of play for the 3rd corner of the evening Cherries way.
Interested to see if Bournemouth use Molly Clark, who's always around the corners. You see her there just in the far right picture of your screen. Maybe to change up a short one, particularly if this delivery isn't as good as the previous 2.
Well, it's gone low at the front post.
I think it's a goal kick's given there. That might be an area where Cherries, knowing the importance of the set pieces that we've seen, might look to just change the taker a little bit. That's 3 in the box now that haven't been delivered as they would like. And it might be looking at just a slightly different routine or a different taker just to change that up.
Well, it was a slight stoop at the front of the 6-yard box. It clearly came off a Bournemouth shirt. Harris with the thundering clearance, and just a little bit of a lull in the game as we approach the half-hour mark. 1-0, Cherries lead. On paper, that's exactly what you need, but it's been a good game so far.
Really entertaining. I hope everyone watching at home, and I certainly know everyone in the ground is enjoying the competitive nature of the game, as there's a 2v1 overload here.
Cherries have got it in a dangerous position. That final ball just not able to get through the Moneyfields defence, and they'll have to build again. McGuinness with nice back heel, and then James with the outside of the foot lofts it forward. It's going to be an awkward bounce, and the keeper's going to get that one. Lovely footwork there from McGuinness on the left-hand side. Really opened up space in the middle for James to hit that ball forward.
Such an explosive player, McGuinness. If you give her space to travel at you, can cause real problems. And credit to Moneyfields and the Olivia Vendito, the right back, has not enabled her to have too much space and time, as we see her close and tight to her again now.
Yeah, it's a very interesting battle between those two as the throw... The throw goes Moneyfields' way. The referee originally pointing in Bournemouth's way, but it's going to be Vendito. Players just starting to crowd over on this right-hand side. McGuinness with the header out of play, and it will be As You Were. Albury, former Yeovil striker with quick feet, gets the ball and gets a return. Trying to work an opportunity. Bournemouth just hurrying and harrying with Williams and forcing Moneyfields back to halfway.
Such energy in that Bournemouth midfield with Phoebe Williams in particular.
It's going to be a long range of the connection, not quite made. Then again, it's Abby Jones, the captain, and Molly Clark now with a low driven ball forward. And there's a chance for Bournemouth to get forward, and Markham just can't quite get the ball out of her feet. And then that pass finds its way over to the right-hand side. They keep it in play. Danger still for Cherries. Moneyfields equal to that time. Player down, will continue. James with the long ranger, wide.
I think we see a Moneyfields player on the floor there. I think we've got to credit the referee for how he's enabled the game to play as well at the moment. He's waved a couple on, allowed advantage to go and allowed the game to flow. I think it would be easy for a referee on a night where it is as competitive as it is in terms of the physical duels and the bouncing ball to be given free kicks here, there and everywhere. So credit the referee so far for enabling the game to flow and be as competitive as it has been. Especially
considering that both sides, they're the top two sides in the division, very high quality, and also the mean would mean so much for either of them. So you know there's going to be that great competitiveness as well. Going to start again from the goal kick after that long range effort from James, which really didn't trouble Stratton in the Moneyfields goal. Flick over down the left-hand side. It's well dealt with, and that will go out of play for a throw right by the corner flag. We see Moneyfields there and not adopting the opportunity to play out from the back, choosing to match Erin Foley's last goal kick and playing into a congested, compact area. And credit to Bournemouth, read it fantastically well and were alert to the first and second ball, something that you would say that they've been sharper on at the moment. It's enabled them to take a little bit more of a grip of the game if you looked at the balance of the two sides. Free kick for offside. It bounces its way and James will hit that whence it came. Vendito forcing Trevick to have something to think about, knocks it back to the keeper well. Very clear communication from Erin Foley there as well, just making sure that the situation was dealt with calmly. It's a lot said obviously about the amount of goals she's conceded this year and how little she's conceded, but that doesn't take away from how quality of communication needs to be to make sure a lot of those chances don't end up in shots. Jones again trying to get the ball away from danger, and Clark just asking quite a lot of Markham there to try and get down the right-hand side away from Heslem. Heslem wins that one that time, but it is going to be a Cherries throw. But as you said, it's not necessarily just Foley that has not conceded the 2 goals. It is the whole team as a group, and you can see that clear communication as Bournemouth now working away into the penalty area. One-on-one, the goalkeeper's come out, knocked the player down, it's cleared. First time we've seen Markham break away from the defender. Fantastic piece of skill, drop of a shoulder. Just the touch, just ran the ball slightly heavy, that she just couldn't get the contact she wanted as early as she wanted. But that's where we want to see Markham really bursting past players. First time that Bournemouth have really been able to get in behind. Another cross up in the air. Williams works it round the corner nicely, and Cherries do win themselves a free kick on that right side. A definite tug on the shirt there. We see Molly Barron-Clark on the set piece this time, so it's not Gilroy with a left foot in swinger. Suits more
are right-footed in towards the goal, in towards the crowd of bodies that are gathering. So let's see if the set piece can be as good as Molly normally delivers, without me hopefully putting the commentator's curse on her, and we can nod in a second goal.
It is going to be Clark. Got on the score sheet in that 3-0 win on Sunday. It's a powerful delivery towards the back post, and Stratton wasn't really troubled by that and let it go over the bar, but ambitious to go from there.
Yeah, ambitious for most players. We've seen Molly crack them in from before, but she'll be disappointed. I don't think she's quite got the ball low enough there. She would have been looking to hit the target and have runners coming towards the goal there to either nod it in or cause distraction for the goalkeeper, but not quite what she wanted. And Bournemouth will feel that they've been wasteful on their set pieces, and I'm sure that'll be something the management team will be discussing at half-time.
Well, player of the season last year, 34 goal involvements. You can certainly see why, but only 3 league goals to her name so far, as Williams goes from range and the bounce takes the sting out of that one. Still 1-0 Cherries lead, thanks to that Gilroy corner after 3 minutes that found its way all the way in at the near post. But since then, it's been scrappy. Neither side really having a consistent period of possession, as Trewick just deals with that one nicely out of play.
I think from the Moneyfields' point of view, it'd be interesting if they looked at just moving some of the front 3 around and maybe getting a little bit of pace up against Amber Cherry. She's looked very comfortable dealing with the centre forward who's backed the body in. She's dealt with that, and just wonder with the bounce of the ball and how difficult it can be for defenders, maybe a little bit of pace around the middle of that Bournemouth back line may cause a few more problems than it currently is.
Well, that win against Moneyfields at the weekend, 3-0, put Cherries into the final of the Hampshire Senior Cup, where they'll face Southampton again at the Snows Stadium of AFC Totton, hoping to make it a hat-trick of victories in the Hampshire Cup and against Southampton in the final. But the main focus
mentioned it earlier, the game's been in a little bit of a lull in it, and it's sort of 2 teams cancelling each other out at the moment a little bit. We've had a couple of breakaway opportunities, but no one's really taken control of the play in midfield. It's very highly competitive, it's quite scrappy, and Jenna Markham brings the ball down excellently with a great bit of quality to stretch the play.
Well, almost a lapse in communication at the back, but Moneyfields can breathe a sigh of relief as a few players just getting in the way of each other there as the ball was played over the top. And Stratton just bundling through a couple of her defenders to actually get to the ball there.
And credit to the Moneyfields central pair at the back there. They've really dealt with a lot of things really well, and challenging conditions against top quality centre forwards that Bournemouth possess. They'll be pleased with how they've limited them to very few opportunities.
Well, neither goalkeeper so far has really had a save to make. It's been a case of the ball just getting close towards the edge of the penalty area and the shot either being blocked or off target. And aside from Gilroy finding the back of the net after 3 minutes, and Markham only a few minutes ago just working her way in behind, as McGuinness yet again electric, as Cherries will be hoping to try and double their lead before half-time. About 5 minutes of normal time to go. Free kick goes Moneyfields' way. It was dangerous from both of their corners so far.
Just about to say the same, and this one a deeper position, working the Bournemouth defenders in a slightly different way. Be interesting to see how they set their line up, whether they choose to go high and give Foley a little bit of space to come and claim if they need to, which seems to be the directive, to not drop deep into the box to allow that to become a scramble. And it'd be interesting if the delivery can be good here from Moneyfields as Caitlin Ward steps on the ball for them.
Fox with the delivery It's flicked behind, out for a corner.
Clear of a way there from Foley, so some more communication, which is great, but there's a possibility there that with that clear communication, that could have been let to be run out for a goal kick there. So a dangerous third corner now for Moneyfields as they gather in their clump in the back post.
Aubrey with the delivery, this time in swinging, and it's going to bounce. Will it drop kindly for Moneyfields? It's up into the air. Cherries need to get this away. Long ranger, driven. Not troubling Foley.
Time for Bournemouth there to remain composed, which was great at the back there. I know you have an element of who can get there first to get that cleared, but it wasn't a panic station at the back there. Phoebe Williams just taking her time to try and get the clearance. Okay, it fell back to a shot, but one that Bournemouth would be quite happy to deal with as they set up another goal kick that looks like it's going to be played a little bit longer.
Yeah, Gemma Simmons for Moneyfields at that time, just having the effort on goal, dragging it wide. Live coverage on AFCB TV. Cherries 2 wins away from history. If it finishes this way tonight, then a win on Sunday will do it. But Moneyfields just making life tough for the Cherries as they search that elusive second goal.
Good play there from Bournemouth. The first time, the real quality into Jenna Markham, looking for sets into feet. Really nice move. Just a shame it didn't lead to an opportunity to get the ball further forward via a cross or a dribble, but really promising signs. And I think Jenna Markham does represent the key. I know that sounds obvious to say, but in that position there, maybe she could have brought that in and gone 1v1 with the defender with the space that those two were quite isolated to anybody else.
Well, Markham has come closest to notching that second goal after quick feet finding the angle, but wasn't able to knock it past Stratton. Nice turn from Williams, but her ball forward is intercepted, and now here comes Wilson Wilton. Too far ahead for her. Game ever so slightly just starting to fizzle out, especially in this first half as we approach the break.
It's going to be vital that both sides keep their concentration here, particularly Moneyfields now defending in this corner with a couple of minutes left. The last thing you want to do is start thinking about the half-time break and refueling and taking some instructions, and then the ball ends up in the back of your net. So it's going to be a really important time here.
Another awkward bounce, but that goes all the way through to the keeper. I mean, they already have a bit of a mountain to climb, especially when Bournemouth have only conceded 2 league goals so far this season. So to get a 2-goal deficit would be quite something as McGuinness, Markham. Towards the back post, wide. But nice attempt from Bournemouth.
Yeah, and a good aggressive pressing, winning the ball back from the Moneyfields goal kick. Markham again heavily involved, finds a link into Chloe Gilroy, who didn't quite get the touch far enough out of her feet to be able to really whip that in under a little bit of pressure from the defender as well. But I think we'll certainly see the Moneyfields goal kick just take a time here as the clock ticks towards that half-time break.
Well, they've still got danger to deal with as Cherries keep things on the deck. Nice quick feet there. Markham. Here comes a strike, and it's well saved. Bournemouth keeping things alive as we tick towards half-time. Jones not getting the decision she wanted, and this time Bournemouth just having to defend their lead. Moneyfields, they lose possession as McGuinness tries to get down the left-hand side, but there's always that quick danger of them hitting it down the other end, and with this pitch being so hard, the bounce of the ball, just as good as you are in defence, all it takes is just an awkward bounce and then it's in behind you.
particularly with the predatory instincts that Bloomfield, McGuinness, Gilroy and Markham have at the top end, then coupled by Phoebe Williams and Baron Clark, who certainly know where the back of the net is, that you lose your concentration for a second, they're right on you.
Well, it's going to be a bit of a foot race between Wilton Wilson and Trowick, and again, nice communication.
I think I'll just go back to an earlier point I made around rotating some of those front three for the Moneyfields players. That would have probably been a much more dangerous situation with a little bit more pace in that central area there, and that might be something that Moneyfields think about during the half-time break, to just try and exploit the space and the 3v3 that they have at the top, as we look at it again with Cooper up against Jones.
Well,
as Jones gives away a silly free kick here, really, with very little time left on the clock and a chance for Moneyfields to put the ball in the box with what must be only seconds remaining.
Well, you think this will be the last action of the first half. Jones was just trying to let the ball run out of play, and in doing so, just a bit too strong for Cooper, who hit the deck. And from a position of potentially some control, seeing out for a goal kick, Albury's going to have another chance to deliver the ball into the box and cause a bit of chaos, and here it comes. Almost a free header there, and Bournemouth just get a head on to that.
An important header from Baron Clark there to guide that away as well, as the referee blows for half-time.
There goes the whistle. Bournemouth with a bit of danger right at the very end, but they do lead by a 0-0 in this crucial clash to try and get themselves in a position on Sunday to seal promotion. It's been it all started so well for Cherries, just 3 minutes on the clock for them to take the lead, and it came straight from a Chloe Gilroy corner that found its way into the back of the net.
Dream start, absolute dream start, and sometimes goals don't come quite how you imagine them to, and this being one here that sort of caught everybody out.
Cherries kept on delivering, and McGuinness was so close to making it 2, and Moneyfields able to scramble that one away. Cherries have certainly had a number of chances to double their lead, but Moneyfields proving to be their equals just by the scoreline.
Credit both teams for creating such a competitive first half for the viewers to enjoy, and I know we've got viewers watching from South Africa at the moment, colleagues out there doing some great work with the Community Sport Trust, so hello to those guys if you're still watching. And it's going to be a really, really great second half with everything still in play here. Moneyfields will be coming out really determined to make sure that they don't suffer a second defeat within a few days.
Well, as it stands, Bournemouth are going to be putting themselves in a position to get promoted on Sunday. We'll join you in the next 10 minutes. Half-time, they lead by a 0-0. Conceding after just 3 minutes, you'd think that teams could crumble, but that's not happened today.
No, absolutely.
Don't forget, all eyes on this Sunday at the Vitality Stadium when Bournemouth take on Bristol Rovers, hopefully to get themselves promotion, the title, to get up to the 3rd tier of women's football. That, of course, will be live on AFCB TV. Tickets still available at tickets.afcb.co.uk. Kick-off at 2 o'clock. That's Sunday, the 23rd of March, as Steve Custis makes his way back down the touchline with his side. 1 goal to the good as the players also race out of the Ringwood clubhouse here on Long Lane, as the evening chill just starting to settle in. Better than the fog that cooled this game off a couple of weeks ago. It was a bright start for Cherries after just 3 minutes. Chloe Gilroy's corner finding its way all the way into the back of the net, and Bournemouth will be hoping that they'll be able to keep that lead, get themselves the 3 points, and then aim to make history on Sunday. Again, that game live on AFCB TV, as is this one on X, YouTube, Facebook, and the Bournemouth Club website. Delighted to be joined by Dave Stadden, Women's Development Manager at AFC Bournemouth. It has been a really entertaining game so far. Only 1 goal in it. I think as a neutral, that sort of makes it more exciting because Moneyfields are right in this tie.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's been a really competitive game. Cherries, you would argue, slightly on top in terms of opportunities or half opportunities, with Markham having the best opportunity to extend Bournemouth's lead to 2-0. But Moneyfields will be absolutely looking to come out and chuck everything at the Cherries in the next 45 minutes. The pitch is quite hard and bouncy, which means that there's going to be a bit of stress on decision making, particularly for defenders. And I'm positive that there's going to be some more goals in this second half, hopefully for the Red and Blacks.
Fingers crossed. I mean, Bournemouth have only faced Moneyfields twice at home since their formation. One of those ended 7-1, the other one was a 1-1 draw, so hopefully it's going to be the former, but that means we're going to see quite a few goals in this second half. So Bournemouth, they lead by that single goal to nil, and it's been the 1 goal that's decided many of these encounters between the two sides. Of course, Cherries getting the 3-0 victory in the Senior Cup on Sunday, but this one has been a lot tighter. Moneyfields pressing aggressively as they get us underway in the second half.
Ball straight into Bournemouth territory, looking to squeeze the space around where Abby Jones will look to attack this, will look to take the throw in, and see if Moneyfields can create an early opportunity with some territory.
Bournemouth with McGuinness trying to get a few yards down that left-hand side. It was an interesting battle between McGuinness and Vendito in the first half as that goes out of play by the corner flag. And Cherries, after having the ball deep in their territory for Moneyfields, have managed to get themselves in a dangerous opportunity to get the ball into the box, potentially with a long throw.
Started the same as we started this first half, really. Both teams looking to move the ball forward, both teams going from one end to the other as Bloomfield looks to pin the defender in the box, which could be very dangerous if number 5 does well.
Bloomfield, first time delivery. It's an awkward bounce towards the front post, and it's gathered at the second attempt. It's only taken a minute, and Cherries in the second half have already dirtied Libby Stratton's gloves.
You should see the replay here, whether there was just a slight delay from the attacker coming in that maybe could have nicked that, but looks like it would have just been past the post with that run. But
it's a long-range effort, and that's well saved. It was a really difficult bounce to judge the ball there from Erin Foley, and out of nothing, it was almost an equaliser.
Comes from that long ball, and that's what we mentioned, just a little bit of pace in and around those central areas. Shannon Aubrey making a run from out to in, and we know that she's got the technical ability to unleash those types of efforts, and Erin Foley was more than a match.
In comes the corner. That is a thunderous header back out to Aubrey. No wonder that she's the division's top goal scorer.
Excellent header there by Erin Broomfield. Really taking charge of that, which is going to be important for Bournemouth because Moneyfields are a threat at these set pieces.
There's going to be another set piece, and that one's headed out by Cherries, and it's a chance for them to break. The ball ever so slightly shanked, and then there's a tussle. Haslam can't quite believe that she's given away a foul there. But Cherries will have themselves a free kick on halfway. Markham just getting on the wrong side there, but Bournemouth do have themselves a free kick on halfway with Baron Clark, who had a go for a goal in the first half from about 10-15 yards further towards goal than this one. Don't think she's going to be shooting from here, that's for sure. Powerful delivery. Dropping in a dangerous area. Moneyfields get that one clear. It's headed forward by Trewick. A little bit of head tennis as Trewick will return to sender. Williams just suffocated on the edge of the box as they try and keep the delivery alive, but that's gone harmlessly over the bar. No changes at half-time for either side.
What a great start. No changes, but same tempo as we started the first half. We've had Moneyfields go forwards, Bournemouth come forwards, we've had balls in the box, we've had shots from outside the box, all in the opening 4 minutes. So if this continues, I'm sure that we'll be entertained if we don't see any extra goals go in anyway.
Certainly with the tempo so far. Certainly tired legs towards the end of the game as Bournemouth try and turn the screw once more as Haslam just hits it up into the night sky, and that's going to bounce in halfway. Clark trying to usher that one forward. Markham, again, quick feet, not able to get that way. That first time ball, nice idea. So just to run through the teams for Bournemouth: Erin Foley in goal, Charlotte Harris, Abby Jones, Katie James, Amber Trewick, Phoebe Williams, Molly Barron-Clark, Chloe Gilroy, Jenna Markham and Erin Bloomfield with Gemma McGuinness.
Some really promising signs from Markham's missed quite a lengthy spell of the season with an injury this part of the new year. He's really looking sharp up that front line today for Bournemouth, causing numerous problems, and I'm sure that if that back line for Moneyfields do get tired, then Markham will be more than ready to capitalise on any extra space she's given.
Well held and then dealt with by Moneyfields at that time. Touch a bit heavy from Albury. James. Reverse ball doesn't quite come off for Williams, but the deflection will just take it out to Albury on this near side. Came close from range just a few minutes ago.
Credit there to Bournemouth, not the way that they opened up the play in terms of in possession, but their out of possession and reaction to when that ball turns over really is fantastic. Williams, Markham, all ready. James as well, ready to win that ball back as soon as Moneyfields look to get it. We see Markham reacting quickly there. We see Katie James applying quick pressure here and so on and so on. So really making sure Moneyfields can't build any sort of foothold in this game and control them through the longer balls then.
Haslam down the left in search of Garcia and Wilson Wilton. No changes either for Moneyfields. Libby Stratton in goal, Kira Haslam, Sophie Phelps, Caitlin Wharton, Olivia Vendito, Brooke Garcia, Gemma Simmons, Megan Fox, Charlie Wilson Wilton, Shannon Albury and Lucy Cooper. Just shy of 52 minutes gone here in Ringwood. Cherries lead by a goal to nil. It's going to be another corner.
Oh, yeah, not 1v1. Yes, well done, Kieran, you come.
Usually Moneyfields change up the way they're setting up. There seems to be the familiarity of all the players gathering towards the far edge of the penalty box, making runs in different places. It'd be interesting if they put anybody closer to the Bournemouth goalkeeper.
And that's dangerous. What a great save, close range. It's going to find its way in the net. It scoops off the line. Still it won't go in, over the bar. And applause all around the ground. How that's not gone into the back of the net, I'm not quite sure. It's a brilliant reaction stop. The bounce of the ball then almost took it back towards goal. Another brilliant save by Foley, and then it couldn't be capitalised on from about half a yard out.
And it's with those attributes that help the number of clean sheets that she builds over.
That's why she's only conceded 2.
A fantastic save, and credit we don't have the best angle to see the second one as well. What a fantastic save to make sure nothing comes of that as well. But a real eye-opener that we know that the form of Moneyfields on set pieces was big in the first half. It's going to look like the same here.
Bournemouth is trying to beat the offside trap. Gilroy. Score of the game's only goal so far. Doesn't get the connection on that ball that time. But even though Bournemouth have won every single league game this season, Moneyfields is just showing why they are breathing down their necks. And they've had a couple of opportunities in this game where they just haven't been able to connect at the back post, or they haven't found a way past Foley. So they are really knocking on the door now, Moneyfields.
Yeah, and coming through set pieces. Absolutely a massive threat of what we knew probably in the build-up, that Moneyfields are strong on set pieces, as are we. But with the bounce of the ball and top quality delivery, you can cause problems for any side, no matter how well organised you are.
Haslam just turning well and scooping that down the left-hand side. Second goal for Cherries will go some way just to allay any fears, as that's put into a dangerous area.
I think those opportunities from the set pieces and the way Moneyfields have started the second half is really giving them an extra little bit of energy, and that's often what chances, things like that can do. And it's going to be important that Bournemouth just make sure, as Foley takes her time over the goal kick and just manages this little period where Moneyfields are just starting to feel like they may be able to sniff out an opportunity, just to calm the game down and make sure we start winning those first and second balls, which hopefully we can do here.
Not the best of goal kicks there from Foley, and Wilson Wilton will try and charge that one down.
Right down in the bottom corner here from a throw-in, so although they haven't won the ball cleanly, they've put us almost back in the similar distance to a goal kick, but in a much less favourable position.
Bournemouth's pristine defensive record just being questioned at the moment by Moneyfields. Williams gets out of trouble. Now there's a bit of a foot race down the right-hand side. Wart against Markham. Takes no chances, hits it out of play. Throw in.
And within one pass, Bournemouth are on the attack. And that's really making for an entertaining second half. And Markham once again really eating up the ground to make sure the Moneyfields defender had to defend that, which is really key. And we forced a throw in a good area.
Harris doesn't find a Cherry shirt that time, but they'll try and just keep the move alive, and Williams doesn't get the connection that she wants. And now it's a chance for the visitors to try and break away, as Cooper's brought to the floor and wins a foul. It's going to be the first yellow card of the game by the looks of it.
Yeah, I don't think Katie James can have too many complaints over the yellow card, not winning any of the ball there, and Moneyfields on the breakaway. May end up being a smart foul.
It just allows her teammates to get back in their numbers to defend this one.
You know that Wart can play this in from here, and there's a really good technique of striking a long ball. So this will be under pressure.
Wart with the delivery, almost finds it, playing a green shirt.
Trying to definitely press on in this second half, and have started really well. And Bournemouth just want to try, if they can, just to make a couple of passes, just take the sting out of the game a little bit. I think the more emotional this game becomes, it potentially favour the away side, as it may take away from some of the play that Bournemouth want to put together.
Winners
58 minutes gone at Long Lane in Ringwood. Cherries lead by a goal to nil. It's the result that they need for it all to come down on Sunday as they throw the delivery into the box, and that's going to bounce through and is gathered by Stratton. Of course, you can watch that game against Bristol Rovers on Sunday at the Vitality Stadium on AFCB TV. Thousands have already got their tickets. You can on the Cherries website. But Moneyfields just doing their best to put a bit of doubt into that day. Of course, a draw today it'd be fine if Cherries still got the victory and then Moneyfields lost their game on Sunday. That would still do it. But Bournemouth will want to get the job done today. But Moneyfields just casting a little bit of doubt into the fire.
Send it!
Ball into the box, doesn't find a Moneyfield shirt, and now Bournemouth will try and get it away from danger. McGuinness tries to flick it over her head and only goes out of play for a throw. Bendito. No foul that time, and Bournemouth can just breathe a bit of a sigh of relief as Moneyfields were just getting together a sustained period of pressure.
You have to say at the moment that they'd be absolutely delighted with the way that they started the second half. They opened in 15 minutes. Most of the chances have fallen their way. They've put more pressure on Bournemouth than Bournemouth have onto them. And they'll be delighted with how it started. But within those 15 minutes, no goal yet. Chloe Gilroy makes way for Ellie Stripple for the first Cherries change of the evening. And it'll be interesting to see if that changes any way the shape that Bournemouth are playing with, or whether Stripple will come on as a like-to-like for Gilroy on the right-hand side.
Well, Gilroy makes way and so far has the deciding goal. That was after 3 minutes straight from the corner, but Stripple with 10 league goals to her name. The 23-year-old joined at the start of the season, was at Swindon last campaign. Got 12 goals then, but fine goal-scoring form. I mean, certainly another arrow to bring on, as it were, as Cherries chase that second goal to make this game safe, you would think. Because whilst it is just a one-goal lead, all it takes is Moneyfields to get themselves half a chance and take that. Stripple's first touch is to get the ball smashed into her face, but brushes herself down. It will be another Cherries throw.
Welcome to the game, Ellie Stripple. First action, straight off the defender, straight into her face.
Molly Clark just leaving that one as Caitlin Ward just lets it go out of play. Goal kick. Under just over an hour played here on AFCB TV. The longer it stays at 1-0, at what point do Bournemouth think, OK, it's time to just shut up shop and get the victory?
Yeah, I think that'll come into play much later into the second half. I think the nature of the team has been all season that they score goals, and we'll continue to look to do that until maybe that final 5-10 minutes, where it will be on the players' mind that the prize of the victory being that we could wrap it up at the Vitality Stadium. We can't deny that that may be, as the game advances, coming into a few of their minds. But with the attacking threat on the pitch, they'll be as confident as Moneyfields that they will score a goal. It's just that Moneyfields right now are the ones that you would say are in the driving seat. It's a lovely little set falls for Shannon Albury. But again, not being able to bring the ball down with the quality to link an attack. Just coming to an end with the pitch sort of helping Cherries defend there.
Haslam's ball is cut out as Cherries just try and get the ball as far away from their box as possible. It keeps on coming back.
A little bit of a pressure relief, and to be really clear on how they want to play out of the pressure here, Bournemouth. Is it that they want to play a little bit further in behind for Markham, in which case make that really evident in terms of clearing for distance and moving the ball into the channels. If it is to play out a little bit, then we may need the central defenders plus our goalkeeper to help us play out with a numerical superiority at the back.
Stripple not able to get ahead of the goalkeeper on that time, but already a couple of involvements down the right-hand side, and it's just that little burst of pace that maybe Cherries have lacked. Nice turn. Intercepted, and Stripple back in the thick of the action. And that's bounced kindly. Bloomfield out towards the right-hand side. Here comes Markham. Clark doesn't get the connection she wants with the second attempt. Moneyfields get it away. Bournemouth just trying to make it come back, and now Albury's got a bit of pace down the left-hand side, can't quite keep it in.
Really good move though from Bournemouth there, linking in again Markham, who we've mentioned a lot in this game so far, but it's really having a real great impact on this right-hand side, and somewhere that, if we're talking about, as we did before, Bournemouth maybe looking for a little bit of an out to turn the game in their favour, Markham would certainly be it, in my opinion.
Harris with the throw, joined in February, 22-year-old. Got it right into an awkward position there, and it has gone out of play for Cherries' fourth corner of the game.
And with Gilroy no longer on the pitch, being replaced by Stripple, we're going to see Baron Clark over this one, so we would anticipate that the delivery would be that little bit stronger than Gilroy would have liked to have delivered today. So it would be opportunity to maybe extend a second goal here.
Don't forget, on Sunday, that game live on AFC BTV, as the cries of a hand as the ball goes towards the goal and it's caught.
The management team will be delighted with the quality of ball that's gone in the box, enabling Broomfield an opportunity to win the header there. The first time from the corners in the game that we've been able to produce that real top quality.
The hands were certainly raised as the overhead kick came in. Referee was very quick to wave any penalty shouts away. 65 minutes on the clock. I know it's cliche, but the next goal is so important.
Absolutely, and you feel if the Cherries were to get that, then it's a real uphill battle then for Moneyfields. But while it's 1-0, anything is on the cards. We've seen set pieces, we've seen long shots, we've seen opportunities that both keepers have had to make saves, and I'm sure that will continue.
It looks like it's going to be Helen Blizzard coming on as Cherries make a second change.
Bloomfield making way here for defender Helen Blizzard. So this is an interesting move. Interesting whether anything changes in terms of the shape of the Cherries, whether Blizzard moves into a back line that maybe now becomes a 4, with Harris and Jones the two full-backs, and Trewick and Blizzard as the back 2. Time will give us an answer to that one.
14 league goal, Erin Bloomfield making way. Joined midway through last season, got 16 goals in 17 appearances. Bournemouth just maybe looking to shut up shop. They've got this 1-goal advantage. But they want to make it 2. And Stripple might get that second. She does! What an introduction for Ellie Stripple. The bounce was awkward, but she collected it and thundered it past the goalkeeper to double Cherries' lead.
She'll be absolutely delighted with that goal. Real great technical quality, bringing the ball down on her laces, enabling her to push the ball forward and continue in her stride, and a really composed finish to give the Cherries a dream 2-0 start, especially as they've just made a defensive change, a potential change of shape, means that they can now be a little bit more controlled in how they want to attack the game, knowing that Moneyfields are going to kind of have to come at them really hard, and there'll be more opportunities potentially on counter-attacks.
Well, you do wonder how the rest of the game is now going to go. Moneyfields with that 1-goal deficit. There's always that thought in the back of your head that maybe you can just do something, but now 2-0 seems an ominous mountain to climb, and maybe heads will start to drop, legs will start to tire, and maybe Bournemouth could net a few more here. But Ellie Stripple with her 11th league goal of the season, but Moneyfields immediately throwing the ball into the box, and that time not able to get a connection with it.
Good opportunities in terms of crosses into the box, and not quite being able to get anything on the end of them will disappoint them massively, particularly with the goal scorers that they have in their team. Maybe just not gambling enough to go and get on the end of those chances and maybe turn a half chance into a 3/4 or a good chance to score.
Ooh. The ball just smashed off the pitch into the technical area. Stripple.
Show no pain, Steve, show no pain.
Well, she's only been on the pitch for a matter of minutes, but Ellie Stripple has certainly been a thorn in the Moneyfields side, getting that second goal. And a lot of the ball is coming down this right-hand side, although Moneyfields just trying to deal with it that time, as Cherries just give away a foul through Williams.
Let's go, let's go!
Yeah.
Get him in, Phoebe, yeah.
Win it!
Go on then, let's go! Keep him high, Blez. Make him attack it. Come on, winners, winners, winners!
Well, you would think with just the 2 league goals conceded all season that even being 1-0 up, you'd think job done, but now that they've got that 2-goal cushion, Bournemouth certainly sitting pretty, and that came through Ellie Stripple just a couple of minutes ago. Great first touch, drives it into the back of the net. Wonderful introduction.
You touch on Bournemouth's defensive record, as we have done many times. It deserves many accolades and many applause for what they've done. Now they've got a change of shapes. There's a back 4, a midfield 3, which has remained James, Williams and Baron Clark, and Stripple coming out to the wide right, having great impact. Markham through the middle, and Gemma McGuinness on the left. So a more orthodox 4-3-3 is going to make it even more challenging for Moneyfields now with that extra player in the back line.
Harris's throw makes its way through to Stripple, but then Aubrey tries to hack that one clear. Harris keeps it in play. Aubrey again. And Ellie Stripple in the thick of the action.
Talk about making an impact off the bench. He's absolutely done that in the short space of time that she's been on. Scored a goal, has been excellent out of possession. She's taken one in the face and managed to whack the manager with the ball at the same time. So it's a pretty all-action display from Stripple since she's come on.
I have to say, she's probably got a line on her bingo card for this one. But Moneyfields have certainly tested the Bournemouth back line, and Erin Foley is to be thanked for that tremendous double save as it comes back at the back post, and they try and get a shot on goal. Not that time.
Cooper not able just to bring that bouncing ball down. It is difficult out there. We must stress that to the viewers at home. that it's really difficult to bring anything that bounces. The ball is taking off quite quickly, so the surface is rather hard. But Moneyfields managed to get themselves another corner. Can they take advantage of one finally? It still looks like a similar setup, so we'll see if they get some success.
Another delivery, and that's gonna, it was turned towards goal.
Look at the replay here, really making, you've got to give Bournemouth huge amount of credits for how willing they are to put their bodies on the line, to compact areas, to stop those opportunities.
Foley pads it down, the rebound shot is going to find its way into the back of the net. And Moneyfields are right back in this game. "17 or so minutes of this game left, and Moneyfields, it was a delivery into the box. Foley didn't get the connection surely, and then Garcia smashes that into the bottom right-hand corner.
Well, we've seen Stripple with a composed finish, that one with an excellent finish. Right in off the post. Bloomfield will be slightly disappointed to punch the ball straight back out, centrally to the edge of the box. If she can't catch it, we've got to make sure that we get that away from the goal, but take nothing away from the finish. And we now have an opportunity of a really, really fantastic final 15 minutes or so left of this game.
Well, we've said it quite a lot throughout this broadcast, but that is the third league goal that Bournemouth have conceded this season. 2 of those have come from Moneyfield's direction, and it certainly is going to make for an entertaining last 15 minutes or so. And they deserve a goal as well. They've really, really attacked with a lot of intensity, and were it not for Foley's terrific double save earlier in the second half, they would already be on the score sheet.
Absolutely, and you know, we can be ever so slightly critical of Foley there, but she stopped goals previously in this game, so we're not going to be overly critical of what she's done. But she's certainly Moneyfields' goal, has given us a barnstorming finish. And it'll be interesting how Bournemouth control their emotions now. You mentioned a side that don't often concede goals. The emotion's going to be high, the rewards of a...
Markham sent to the deck, and it is going to be a free kick Cherries' way.
Win the ball.
Well, picking up a yellow card here for a heavy challenge on Markham. And this little break in play won't be bad for Bournemouth. Just get a little breather, just recompose themselves if there were any sort of shift in momentum in the game since the Moneyfields goal, and an opportunity to put a set piece of our own. We saw Baron Clark on the last corner from this side put in with great delivery. And can Bournemouth respond really quickly and open up that 2-goal cushion again, that'll really make the side a little bit more relaxed heading into that final 15 minutes.
Well, a goal here would certainly be the perfect remedy. Quite a straight delivery at the back post, and it drops just wide. They almost got that third goal right there.
To stress something I mentioned in the first half, you can be as organised as you wish at the set piece, but when the delivery is as quality and as good as that, you can undo man marking, zonal marking, whatever the approach may be. And so close there to the, like you say, the perfect remedy, Tom.
Double change for Moneyfields. Wart, having just picked up a yellow, is coming off. Looks like Brittany Gill, the number 18, waiting to enter the fray.
Numbers off. 3 and 23. Okay, thank you.
As well as Amber Howden.
Come on in, girls. Go grab it, Britt. Go grab it.
Like for like change at the back for Wart and Howden, and I think they know just especially how emotional this game is now going to be with that Moneyfields with their tails right up. You don't want a player on a yellow card, especially when Bournemouth start finding the gaps at the back.
Yeah, you could certainly say if it works out in that favour, smart management there by the Moneyfields manager, and he knows his players better than anybody else. But bringing a new centre-half on up against Markham is not going to be an easy task. We've seen Walk booked and replaced since then. Be interesting if Markham can impose herself on the new player coming on.
Well, Albury is currently in a heap and is going to need some treatment, the number 9.
Just caught her. There's intention there to win the ball. You can see that just a little bit late and catching Shannon Albury on what looks like the heel there as she tried to turn away.
Looks like she's going to be okay to continue. Obviously, we'll have to go off the pitch and then be welcomed back on. 12 minutes to go of normal time, live on AFCB TV. Ellie Stripple thought that she got the 3 points home and hose for the Cherries, but a quick goal from Brooke Garcia means that this game has plenty of life in it. Is that free kick well headed up? And then Cherries win themselves a free kick on the edge of their box just to ease the pressure, as Moneyfields now are going to turn the heat up as we go into the final 12 minutes or so.
Yeah, clever foul there from Katie James. Feels the pressure coming from behind. Takes to the deck, wins a foul and a little breather for the team.
Howden's first bit of action is to head that ball clear. Stripple trying to get away from Heslem. Markham chance for Cherries now to try and break forward. They're in search of a third goal that would surely wrap up all 3 points. And they almost get through with Jones in nosebleed territory up on the edge of the attacking box.
I think the Moneyfields player just feels she's been hit by a steam train. Abby Jones was absolutely flying there as she brings such power and such speed into the team, and I'm glad that's not me.
I was going to say, it did look like an arm hitting at that speed is certainly going to knock any player down. And we said earlier, welcome to Ellie Stripple getting hit in the face. Well, welcome to Amber Howden there.
Absolutely.
Cherries get themselves a corner. Their 5th of the game, and as we enter the final 10 minutes of normal time and Clark goes over, they'll be, if they can just get that third goal.
Yeah, you feel that would be really key at this stage of the game to stop any onslaught that will definitely be coming at 2-1. Excellent goalkeeping there. Just to take that pressure off your defenders and claim and punch clear of the penalty area. And Moneyfields clear their lines. Almost.
Cooper. That's going to go Bournemouth's way, and you just feel as they're going to make another change, the Cherries.
Phoebe Williams making way for Ali Hall to come on, so you would imagine that would be a like-for-like change in terms of position, with Ali Hall moving into midfield. It'd be interesting whether she plays alongside Katie James and Molly Barron-Clark moves into a slightly more advanced position, or Katie James moves up and Ali Hall sits into the holding midfield role, which looks like it may happen here. But vastly experienced player, looking to come on and add that coolness and that composure to the final 10 minutes, plus whatever the referee may add on, to see the Cherries over the line and set up a fantastic day on Sunday.
Hall joining in July after a successful loan spell with Portsmouth. tasted promotion with Pompey as they got up into the Championship, and that's exactly the kind of experience you need at this level, especially to see out a game of this magnitude, as of course the current scoreline means that a win on Sunday will put Cherries up. History will be made, and you can watch that live on AFCB TV at the Vitality against Bristol Rovers. Tickets still available on the Bournemouth website. But Moneyfields are just going to try and be the party poopers. Brooke Garcia getting them right back in the game after Ellie Stripple had doubled the Cherries' lead. Here she is again, the number 16. Really good footwork, but unfortunately that goes straight the way of Haslam. And her ball forward is intercepted.
I think Moneyfields really want to make sure that they can try and bring Cooper and Albury into the game a little bit earlier on the flanks. They're really pulling Jones and Harris out that little bit wider, so you can see that there are quite a lot of isolated 1v1 moments. If they can get to them earlier, they turned down the opportunity to do that to Albury just a few moments ago. That may represent a chance, and you can maybe create something with those players that have pace and have goal-scoring threat.
Here come Moneyfields again. Searching for that equaliser, and it just goes through, and Stripple is going to have to race towards that just to try and get the danger away. And in doing so, it's gone right back to Haslam. Cherries can't quite get it clear. Moneyfields turning the screw. Good first touch there from McGuinness, now looking for the run of Markham, and she's not going to beat the defender that time, but the bounce is awkward there for the keeper. Stripple brings it out of the sky beautifully. Clark isn't able to keep it in play that time. Goal kick.
First time I think we saw Markham there just look that little bit tired, coming back from injury, hard pitch, doing lots of physical work up there for the side. You can never question how hard she works for the team. Just looked a little bit tired there, or maybe just the fresh legs of the Moneyfield centre half coming on, just making the difference.
Ellie, left side. Ellie, left side.
2-1, live on AFCB TV. There's going to be another change as
Kelsey Bowers replaces Gemma McGuinness. Ellie Stripple directed by the AFC Bournemouth management to head over to the opposite side as Kelsey Bowers comes on. And be interested if she plays a little bit closer to Charlotte Harris, being a more natural defender, to just offer a little bit of that protection that I mentioned around those 1v1s in those wide areas that Moneyfields may look to move the ball into.
Bowers signed on a permanent contract in the summer. That was after a decent loan spell from Portsmouth. Just under 5 minutes plus any additional time for Bournemouth to see this out and put themselves on the brink of the title, of promotion. And they can seal that at the Vitality on Sunday. It'll be quite the occasion. Plenty of fans already getting their tickets, but they just need to see this victory out. Harris. Baron Clark goes down late. No foul. It was quite a vocal fall. And now Moneyfields have nicked the ball high up the pitch, and it's going to be a race through for Wilson Wilton. And Jones just hacks it up into the air, and Albury can't keep that one in play.
We mentioned it in the first half around Moneyfields maybe looking to freshen up positions in their front line, not necessarily through substitutes, but maybe try and Cooper down the middle or Albury down the middle. I think we may have seen an example of why I suggest that there. Just that ball comes through the middle and didn't have that change of speed. The player brings different attributes to this Moneyfield side through hold-up play that may have just caused a little bit more of a problem to the Bournemouth backline, particularly now that with only minutes remaining, there may be more direct play going into those spaces behind the Bournemouth backline.
Well, Kira Haslam is going to have to be replaced after needing the magic sponge.
Come this side, please. Come out this side. Straight down the middle. Down the middle, shot. Send him back to shot.
And that has meant that Olivia Vendito has swapped over to the left-hand side. And Sky Louise Granger has come on in Haslam's place. Moneyfields chasing an equaliser. Bournemouth knowing that if they can just see this out, then they can get themselves promotion on Sunday at the Vitality Stadium against Bristol Rovers. They've just got a few more minutes to hold and potentially add to their lead if they can.
This is certainly the stage in the game that you asked me about earlier with how Bournemouth will play this. They'll look to move the ball into the corners, look to try and keep Moneyfields in their half as much as possible. Take the time over the set piece, and the game management side is going to be absolutely crucial now to make sure that as Jenna Markham finds that extra bit of fitness there, she's worked so hard to keep Moneyfields in that half.
Every charge of the ball celebrated by the Bournemouth bench and the fans around us. Bournemouth have got Moneyfields exactly where they want them as we are in that final minute of normal time. Moneyfields just able to get out of a cul-de-sac that time. Bit of holding there on Wilson Wilton, and it's straight forward but then headed back. Frantic. Stripple. The flag has stayed down as Stripple's working into the box. Can she seal it? Stripple for the third. Surely has fallen over in the penalty area, not able to get the connection. And now it's Moneyfield's turn to try and change the ending to this wonderful story.
Amber puts a full stop to what was a really exciting moment of play as Moneyfields looked to break out on the counter-attack. And, you know, credit, Amber's been absolutely fantastic at the back today for Bournemouth. Hasn't put a foot wrong, won every duel, communicated and played very clearly with a goalkeeper. A fantastic display that she'll be really, really pleased with, I'm sure, if we can get over the line at 2-1.
Moneyfields just trying to throw what they can back at Bournemouth in these final stages, and that is going to be gathered well by Foley, and she's going to soak up the seconds.
Hey girls, lock on and winners! Lock on, winners! Winners!
We're hearing 6 minutes added time here for those viewers at home.
We've already played a minute of that, 5 more for Bournemouth to see out. Now, of course, if Moneyfields were to get an equaliser, Cherries could still get the job done on Sunday, but that would be relying on Moneyfields to lose their game against Bournemouth Sports, as that is going to go on to the top of the goal. Foley wasn't sure about where that ball was going to land.
Heart in mouths there, absolutely heart in mouths. Just takes that control and guides it in more than shoots. And wow, a couple of inches lower, that could have been a real potential problem as Jenna Markham makes way for Eloise Hall to come onto the pitch. And credit to Jenna, she's worked so hard today. She's going to go without her goal. There'll be lots of other games for her to keep adding to her tally here for the club, but has worked admirably and basically done everything but get the goal, so she can be delighted with her evening's work.
Absolutely. Well, she came very close to netting in the first half, but was foiled at the near post. So it's Eloise Hall, the 18-year-old, joined in January on dual registration from Spurs. 3.5 minutes left here at Ringwood, and Bournemouth have got themselves a free kick, which is celebrated with fist pumps on the bench.
Bournemouth have really managed this period of the game really well. Clever substitutions to also tick the clock down as well, make sure we manage it from a staff point of view, but the players have got to get credit, winning lots of free kicks, really limiting Moneyfields to that effort that we just saw go over the bar, and that's been it in terms of territory as well as shots.
Long delivery. Oh, and that might be finished, and it's gone just wide. They could have wrapped things up.
And that would have been the cherry on top of an excellent display for Amber, but Moneyfields get us back in play straight away. They play short out to their centre-half, who rolls the ball forwards.
It's not done yet, as Bournemouth will try and go for goal from halfway, and that is going to go over the bar. Cherries.
If you can't score from 7, give it a go from 70.
Why not?
Winners everywhere! Winners everywhere! Yes, you! Next ball!
Bournemouth.
First and second ball there, Wynne and Stripple and Clark around it.
Well, Moneyfields launch it into a dangerous area. Can they get the ball into the box? They can. It's not dealt with by Cherries straight away. A player goes down and points to the spot. And Moneyfields, in the final 2 minutes of additional time, have got themselves a penalty. There's disbelief.
You have to say that there's minimal contact. It'd be interesting to see that again, only seeing it once on the replay. A huge moment for the referee to call that there. It looked minimal from our view. We'd like to see it again, which I'm sure we'll have the chance to do towards the end of the game. But big moment now.
Aubrey against Foley, and it's saved! Tremendous stop from Foley. Bournemouth get it clear, and she is mobbed by the Cherries defenders. But Cherries still have a couple of minutes to see out.
And breathe. This game throws everything at you, and now we've got a goalkeeper with us, a penalty hero. She looks calm and composed right now on your screens, but I can guarantee you she is absolutely ecstatic. That keeps Sunday alive for the senior Cherries here to get over the line and create some history. Fantastic. What a game.
Just 30 seconds to go, although you'd imagine maybe a little bit more with the penalty decision. Bournemouth trying to get the ball up where they need it to be. Moneyfields. Eloise Hall into the box, and there's no one there, and Moneyfields, do they have one more attack in them? The goalkeeper has raced out. They'll be watching the referee, waiting for the whistle to be blown. And the ball went out of play there, and you think that might be that, but Dave, the noise around the ground when that ball was stopped. Incredible save. And we're just getting another look at it now. You would completely back the league's top scorer to find the back of the net, but it's a fantastic save. Although it's at a good height, but she's guessed correctly, and what an important stop to make.
All the credit to the goalkeeper. I think everything's in the favour of the striker there, isn't it, from the penalty spot. Brilliant. Well done, Erin.
Cherries trying to hold it in the corner. Player goes down. No foul. But they win a throw, and the clock just ticks ever closer. Surely we'll be having the full-time whistle any moment now. And once that whistle goes, it'll all be eyes on Sunday. And still we play into the 8th minute of additional time. 6 were added. Moneyfields trying to play it out from the back, but Bournemouth just pressing and pressing. Whistles. It goes out of play surely now. The whistles continue around Ringwood at Long Lane. Bournemouth on the cusp of making history. And still we play. And now it's over. Bournemouth elated. They race to Erin Foley, who has decided this game in the dying seconds. An incredible end to what has been a fantastic match. Brooke Garcia, who got Moneyfields back into the game on her haunches there in the middle of the park. But Bournemouth will celebrate. And now all eyes on Sunday at the Vitality. A win for them, and they will be up. And of course you can watch that live on AFCB TV. That's 2 o'clock on Sunday, the 23rd of March. Bristol Rovers, the opposition. Tickets still available on the Bournemouth website. Thousands already set to be in attendance for what is going to be a tremendous afternoon for the Cherries. Can they get things sorted? What a game.
Wow. Wow. Between two sides that absolutely went at each other. It ebbed and flowed. There was chances at one end and a chance at the next. We had set pieces. We've had penalty saves. We've seen it all. We've seen some quality goals as well. And credit's got to go to both groups of players that have served up a fantastic midweek feast of football for us.
Well, Bournemouth getting yet another win on their way towards promotion. You talk about the goals at one end of the pitch, but it's going to be Erin Foley who is going to be the toast of the Cherries tonight. Chloe Gilroy got things going just after 3 minutes straight from the corner that found its way into the back of the net. And then somehow McGuinness wasn't able to get it in at the back post. It was well stopped, but that was the real action of the first half. A long ranger from Katie James also testing the gloves of the keeper as Bournemouth continue to try and press for that second goal.
You can see here just through the highlights how competitive each part of the game was. We had balls bouncing, we had defenders throwing themselves at everything, we had attackers willing to go. Another great example here of some fantastic goalkeeping. We almost forget about that fantastic double save because she goes and saves the penalty, which we'll see later on. So Erin Foley has definitely earned all the applause for tonight. She's been absolutely fantastic.
An incredible display by the Cherries goalkeeper, but it was Ellie Stripple, fresh off the bench, that got that 2-goal advantage. Lovely touch considering the conditions, and drilled it past the keeper with aplomb to get her 11th league goal of the season. At that point, you thought that the points were safe for Cherries, but Brooke Garcia had other ideas, lashing the ball home from the edge of the box. And Trewick somehow not converting to really make the game safe with just a few minutes to go. But then all of the drama in the final part of the game not dealt with at the back. A penalty was given, and with just 2 minutes left of the additional time, you'd think the league's top scorer, Shannon Albury, would be finding the back of the net, but she was denied by Foley, and that means that Bournemouth will go to the Vitality on Sunday knowing that 3 points and they will make history. They will reach the third tier of women's football. They plough on a 2-1 victory against second place Moneyfields. It's been a breathless game here at Ringwood. No fog in sight, just fantastic football. And now all the attention to the Vitality. Full time here, AFC Bournemouth 2, Moneyfields 1. Bye.